Video 27. Conduction. How illegality causes bad guys that by spreading their bad values person to person makes the world a less pleasant place. Conduction. Analogous to the way that a quality, energy or heat is transferred inside a star by particles bumping into other particles, transferring the quality of energy throughout the star, is here used as a metaphor for how the drug racket's individuals are bumping into other individuals, transferring their quality, badness, spreading it throughout society. You've been told that illegality, by causing higher prices, also causes cornering and higher profits, and that this will reward whoever managed to stay the course and survive law enforcement's harassment. This, some drug lords staying the course and thus making a lot of untaxed money, results in what I call convection. However, there's more than a lot of money to the drug rackets. There's also a lot of individuals that this lot of money has attracted, and the racket that illegality creates, apart from corrupting the economy by convection, also by what I call conduction, corrupts by people as bad ones bumps into good ones. Once a trafficker has bent a copper, the copper is more likely to be bendable when approached the next time. Once a dealer has made a non-user use one time, the likelihood that he or she will use also in the future will increase, as will the likelihood of him or her becoming a habitual user, harm others, and eventually die prematurely in a drug-related death. Once a trafficker has talked a vendor into making his or her first sale, or a mule into swallowing his or her first packet, or a judge for the first time has accepted favors for leniency, once a customs officer has agreed to look the other way as a truck disembarks, or forget to check a container, once a senator or a member of parliament has agreed not to raise a particular issue or question, etc., then these events will all have become more likely to happen also in the future, more likely than they were prior to the initial events. Bad people have bumped into good people and caused them to turn bad, or at least less good. To say that it is not so, to say that bad people do not on average corrupt good people, would be to say that 1. Good people seek the interaction with bad people. Well, they'd have to, wouldn't they? And 2. In such interaction, they are successfully turning bad individuals and the values into or towards good ones, and wouldn't get more corrupted themselves. The time for such thinking was once with us, but it has gone, and though of course we might hope that it shall one day return, that day is unlikely to be tomorrow. Bad money, bad individuals, and bad values, on average, corrupt good money, good individuals, and good values. Whereas bad money corrupts good money is a consequence of conviction. Bad individuals corrupting good individuals is a consequence of conduction. As to bad values corrupting good values, conviction and conduction are both guilty. And as to the cause of conviction and conduction, well, by now we know that these are both caused by illegality. As a bad guy interacts with a good guy in a two-people system, the outcome of the interaction is likely to be that overall badness rather than that of goodness, increases. Add to this that as the publicly perceived badness of the drug racket decreases, interaction between good and bad guys increases, and you've got the phenomenon of conduction sort of summed up in relation to illegal drugs. This, I realize, might not sound all that convincing to all of you, and it's not really very scientific. I definitely do not think one would have much of a chance to get a research grant for developing such ideas, and I suppose it is really more of a part of a Weltanschauung than a scientific idea. However, I do have a story that I believe might make more sense, and one that might make you, if not come around to, at least better appreciate my thinking. In the next video, Panama, I shall present this story, hoping it shall achieve what this video might have failed to achieve. I have had many weird experiences in my life, but this one definitely is a contender for top honors. In a way, my series of drug videos, my critique on illegality, ends here. So let me sum this last of my three-part critique up before moving on to my last video that I realized you might skip. Don't, it's really cool. In this last third of my critique of illegality, we have seen 1. How illegalization causes huge surpluses and criminals. 2. How these surpluses and criminals take on and thus come to represent bad values. 3. That neither bad people nor bad capital happily coexists with like people or capital alone, and that therefore the illegality caused bad capital and people move out of their own world so as to mix with the people and the capital of the good world. And 4, in doing so, they corrupt. They corrupt by means of what can be thought of as convection and conduction. And though of course one can blame capital and people for being bad, one should not forget that without illegality there would be no more bad capital or people around to spread the bad stuff.